What did you learn about burnout back then? I think when it hits you for the first time, you don't really see the signs because, you know, few of us would educate themselves on what a burnout is before we are actually affected by it. We think
Yeah.
that maybe we are just getting lazy. It's just procrastination. I don't know, if we maybe sleep more, we would actually feel better. And, all these kind of like illusions that people usually have, especially self-driven people who are used to be energetic, who are used to be ambitious, who are, go-getters. All of a sudden something happens to you and you don't know what it is. What did you learn about your burnout? Maybe, yeah.
Well, I come from a place where, I don't know, actually, I didn't believe in burnout. I was the kind of person who thought burnout is for the weak, in a way. And it was like, I am aspiring to build something great, and that requires imbalance. It requires me to do work that people are not willing to do because that's what great requires. And the burnout comes because I'm trying to build this business. Along the way, I realized that as long as I'm part of delivering the service, I don't really own a business, I own a job. And so that created this push of like an obsession to try to remove myself out of delivery. But because everything was built around me, I couldn't find a way. And so that's where I start feeling like I have no progress. The problem is in the business model. I don't know how to get out of here. And I'm not earning enough and I'm working so much. So it was the lack of sort of results in the direction that I had dreamed that started build that tension and sort of, in a way, now when I look back, I realized that what I needed was a break, but I just felt like I need to put the agency aside. Like, this is not working for me.
I have talked to a couple of people who have been through this kind of journey, and it seems to me that it's not only just a break, that they have reached this point not because they were overworking, but more because there was a certain level of frustration that you're working, but your work doesn't pay out, that there is not enough impact, that you're kind of like in this rat race. And I don't know, maybe I'm actually curious, did you ever feel at some point as if you were building a prison for yourself? Like, you're an entrepreneur, you are a self-defined person, you have chosen this path, but in some way you are like a prisoner of yourself, of your own venture.
Yeah, and that's actually a discussion I have many times, especially with my wife. That is, in a way, I sort of feel like I didn't choose this. It's just who I am. Okay. And so I have no choice in a way.
Okay.
And so that for me makes, okay, it immediately eliminates any other option rather than push forward.
Okay.
But the burnout absolutely comes from the lack of results in terms of like the effort that we're doing and what we want to achieve. It's not a result. So, for example, if somebody's playing video games and they get stuck at a level, they just turn the machine off and that's it. Like they get stuck, they don't know how to continue, they move away and they go on. But when this is your livelihood, you are put in a place where it's quite challenging because, especially when you're part of service delivery, if you don't sell, you don't earn. And that makes it really paralyzing because you feel like you need to continue.
Yeah.
So at least you earn something, but you can't take time off. And so I think that's really the big challenge. And especially as I transition to Scale Yard, I've also come into situations now where sometimes I'm like, I think I am burnout. Like now that's the biggest difference right now with 2018, where I had no clue about it. I wouldn't even consider it. I thought that was just something that they tell themselves to victimize themselves, sort of something like other people would do something like that. And now I am realizing like, no, it is definitely something that happens. It is something that is there. And it's a way for our body to let us know, hey, we need to slow down. You have periods where you have high intensity and you have periods where you need to slow down and really chill. and you need to learn to be okay with those periods as well.
Okay.
If you want to perform when the high periods come in, you also need to be able to take a step back and put yourself down and say, hey, we also need these times if I want to be able to succeed when the high period comes. Mm-hmm. And so this is the biggest learning and breakthrough for me.
And if you're just as passionate about innovation as we are, hit subscribe for the Recursive podcast on YouTube or your favorite podcast platform. We're everywhere.